Uniting the ancestors. What we're doing in this webinar is bringing the gifts and the knowledge and the wisdom of the ancestors back into alignment. They've had incredible, rich lives and feelings of different emotions, maybe that are still not resolved. And there may be disputes in the ancestral system which are not resolved, or systems that were abusive, and this was normal in the system. So in these four webinars, I'm going to work with these fields which affect our lives. For example, if there was deceitful dishonesty in the system somewhere in the ancestral line, you'll have this underlying feeling that I'm going to be robbed or someone's going to steal from me. So this can be related to something in your past, a dishonesty in the core values of your ancestral line, or dishonor in the ancestral line, or vengeance, or a bitterness in the feminine line, resentment. So all these different belief systems or experiences or unresolved topics related to your ancestors are very important to bring up into the surface. If you want to change the world, it's about changing your own world and starting with what's in your system. Now, we worked with mom and dad, so that was the first basis of opening up the system, and the keys for what is in you is there too. So the ancestors, I feel, are shaking in the way that they want to resolve. They want us to help them resolve what's in the system. And when there's an imbalance, maybe between different nationalities, different languages, maybe some of the ancestors back were illiterate, and now there's another ancestors who went to university. So there's a deficiency in the system. There's an imbalance in the system. Different languages, different belief systems, different religions. Maybe there was an ancestor who was cut off from her children and she feels betrayed. Maybe there's someone who was barren in the system, childless, and then they feel dishonored and they bring this energy through the system, and there's a blockage about having children. Maybe there's a health topic. Maybe the ancestors feel unheard, disrespected, and then they create some energy of an illness in the system to bring you back to the roots, bring you back to the root problem, back to the root issue. So in this webinar, I'm going to look at all inheritance of ancestral wounds, illnesses, ancestral topics, what wants to come up to the surface, and they will start revealing what's in the system and conflicts, old conflicts. So we're going to work with really a lot of very deep fields that affect us, but to open this system up and have a look into the system and resolve what is in the system. So my question to you is, are you ready to resolve what is not united in your ancestral system? And do you choose to be the one to open the system and resolve these systems? What it'll bring in is it'll bring you more into self. It will clear any shadow work that's in your system, and it will bring you more into a feeling of being united and supported by the ancestors. And when they support you, there's a really different, profound feeling in the system, and it's like they got your back. And then they need you as you need them, and we're helping to clear each other's system. So this webinar is completely about uniting the energies and experiences and talents and gifts of the ancestor and working with them so you and your partner's ancestors are also aligned and true in the system, that there's a complete unity in the system. This is what this webinar is going to be. So it's going to be 4 modules. It's going to be 4 webinars addressing everything which is out of a balance with your soul information and creation, and resolving whatever ancestral topics, belief systems are still active in you and playing out in your life. Because if you disconnect from the family system, or an ancestor disconnects from the family system, the system is shaking, and it wants you to come back into the system and honor all of the ancestors and allow them to work through you in a positive sense. So I'm looking forward to opening these systems and supporting the ancestors to support us and support each other as a collective, as a group, so we can really unite as one force in creation. And you've got the whole support system backing up of your ancestors. This is going to be a profound shift in the system, and I feel it's really going to help us to go deeper into our own shadows, our own experiences, our own genetic information, and resolve it so we're fully aligned to embody our soul fully into our lives and be united and given the space to be ourselves. Truth in the system, uniting the ancestors. So I want to thank all the ancestors. I want to thank you and ask the system, are you ready to come together? Are you ready to unite as one in wholeness, in love, in compassion and acceptance of oneself in the ancestral system? Have a beautiful day, and thank you for being on this journey with me and all of us, and we're all doing this together. So it's another building block in the system, but this feels like a really rich field of information and a lot of information which is going to be resolved in the system through this webinar series. Have a beautiful day. Thank you.